Hey everybody, Dr. T here. Due to some recent comments online, today we are going to be discussing digital abuse. Imagine receiving a message that contained chillingly accurate details about your daily routine, or consider the shock of discovering that your footage has been digitally altered into explicit content and splashed across the internet. These are not hypothetical scenarios of digital abuse. They are a frightening reality for millions of victims navigating the digital world today. As technology mediates more of our daily lives, it is also being weaponized to harm victims in new and alarming ways. Although not a new phenomenon, technology-facilitated violence against victims has surged rapidly in recent years, posing serious threats to the safety and well-being of victims everywhere. What starts as online abuse can swiftly spiral into danger that extends beyond screens and borders, making it impossible for many victims to feel safe at home, work, or in public spaces. No one should have to live in fear just for existing online. The digital world should be a safe space for everyone. Governments and the technology sector must tackle this threat and do more to protect people's rights in the digital era. The 2024 report of the UN Secretary General on Violence Against Women and Girls identifies three emerging challenges: growing backlash against women's rights, the rapid rise of artificial intelligence, and the expansion of the manosphere, an ecosystem of misogynistic content that is seeping into mainstream culture, shaping public attitudes towards women and fueling violence. Digital or online violence refers to any act that is committed, assisted, aggravated, or amplified by the use of information communication technologies or other digital tools that results in, or is likely to result in, physical, sexual, psychological, social, political, or economic harm or other infringements of rights and freedom. Take doxing, for example, which is the act of sharing someone's personal information online. It can lead to real-life consequences such as stalking, threats, and even physical violence. Or consider deep fake abuse, where manipulated images or videos of someone published online can then result in offline reputational damage with lasting and devastating effects on a person's life. These examples show the complexities of technology-facilitated violence against victims and how its scope can be harder to define, as harm often permeates both online and offline spaces. The digital revolution has both exuberated existing forms of gender-based violence such as sexual harassment, stalking, hate speech, misinformation, defamation, and impersonation, and created new forms of violence such as hacking, astroturfing, video and image-based abuse, including deepfakes, doxing, cyberbullying, and online grooming, among others. Millions of victims are affected by digital abuse and technology-facilitated violence every year. Sexual harassment and stalking are the most commonly reported forms of technology-facilitated violence experienced by victims. Image-based abuse, sharing intimate photos without consent, unwanted messages, social media posts, and phone calls are the most frequently used tactics for sexual harassment. Victims may be harassed on digital platforms in comment sections, bombarded with explicit messages, and tracked through GPS and location-based apps, sparking a digital nightmare that often spills into their offline lives. Other forms of abuse that victims face include cyberbullying, hate speech, sexual exploitation, defamation, intimate image sharing, sextortion, and revenge porn. The tools and platforms perpetrators use to inflict harm on victims range from smartphones, computers, chat rooms, social networking sites, online gaming sites, GPS trackers, and video streaming platforms. So how can we stop digital abuse and technology-facilitated violence? Enhance cooperation between governments, the technology sector, women's rights organizations, and civil society to strengthen policies to protect victims and prevent violence from happening in the first place. Address data gaps to improve understanding of the causes of such violence, the profiles of perpetrators, and to inform prevention and response efforts. Develop and implement laws and regulations with the input from survivors and women's organizations. Hold the tech industry accountable by establishing transparency and accountability standards on digital violence and the use of data across digital platforms. Integrate digital citizenship and ethical use of digital tools into school curriculum to foster a culture of respect and empathy both online and in real life. Sensitize young people, especially young men and boys, caregivers, and educators about ethical and responsible online behavior. Empower survivors to participate and lead in the technology sector, to inform the design and use of safe digital tools and spaces free of violence. Transform harmful social norms by promoting positive masculinities and challenging harmful and misogynistic narratives, including through harnessing technology and AI. Ensure that public and private sector entities prioritize the prevention and elimination of digital violence through human rights-based design approaches, safety by design, and adequate investments.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive situation, call the National Helpline at 1-800-799-SAFE or text START to 88788. Everyone deserves a healthy relationship.